Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I already have my base done, so we can go ahead and jump into the tutorial. So first I'm jumping into my Morphe 35N palette and grabbing this pretty pale pink color just to do a light wash all over the lid here, and I'm using the Morphe R37 brush to do that. So just the regular windshield wiper motions back and forth, and I'm just going to want to blow this look out all over. And I really want to get it into the inner corner as well. I just want it blown out everywhere. And then in that same palette, I'm picking up a more brighter pink shade, and I'm using another Morphe brush. I'm honestly not sure what it's called right now, but I will link it down below as well as everything else. So I'm basically doing the exact same thing. It's just more of a little bit of a dense brush, so it's not going to be as blown out. A little more control as to where the brush is going, but same kind of thing, back and forth, and I want to hit that inner corner real well also. And then I went back in with that R37 brush to blend it out. And then I'm going into my Rose Gold Huda Beauty palette with that bright pink flamingo shade. And I'm just concentrating that more in the crease, but basically doing the exact same thing, just back and forth. And then on that same Morphe R37, picking up those first two shades, and I'm really going to use this to blow out the look even more. And I'm going to use this to kind of help me build my shape. So now I'm going in with the shade from Makeup Geek. This is the shade Simply Marlena, and I'm picking up this really tiny brush here. It's not a pencil brush, it's a little more flared out, but I'm using this brush to almost build a cut crease. This shade, when it's swatched, it's almost like a fuchsia, so when all the colors come together, you can really see how this helps to carve out the eye a little bit more. So I'm just using this to carve out the crease here, and I'm winging out just a little bit. Alright, back into that pink from the Huda Beauty palette, and I am just going over that just to make sure everything is blended. There's no super harsh lines or anything like that. Now I'm picking up that Morphe R37 brush with no additional product just to make sure everything looks good and blended. The key to this look is blending, blending, blending. So I'm going back into that Morphe 35N palette and picking up this beautiful purple shade. I'm using that with a Morphe M433 brush, and I'm using that to pack that purple shade into the inner and outer corners, leaving the center of the lid open so we can put our shimmer shade in there later. So I'm just trying to pack that color on nicely just to build the definition that I want. So now I'm going in with my handy dandy hydrocortisone to put on the center of my lid, and that was Zach telling me that he was leaving, so I gave him a little kiss bye. But and he keeps talking, that's why I keep looking at him. So anyway, I put that on the center of the lid just to kind of wet the middle of the lid there so I can pick up this shade from the Huda Beauty palette. This is the shade Angelic, and it is a beautiful pink shade. When you swatch it, and it has like these gold reflects in it, is super beautiful. So I'm picking that on a flat shader brush from Tweezerman. I'm just packing that into the center of the lid, and I'm blending in between the harsh lines, making sure that there are none. And I'm using the hydrocortisone just to make sure it pops more and comes out a little more metallic than it would if I didn't use that. So I'm going back in with that purple shade just to pack on the purple even more, since I feel like we lost a little bit of that. Going back in with the shader brush and blending out those edges. And then I picked up a little bit of the purple with a really light hand just to kind of flare it out just a little bit, just to kind of blend it in with the pink that we blew out earlier. So I just wanted to add a touch of that. Going back in with that big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to make the shape of my eye here. I'm picking up those two shades that we have been using from that Morphe palette just to almost shape like a like almost if you were wearing a mask over your eyes. So I'm just winging it and putting it underneath my eyes until I have the intensity that I'm wanting. I'm going back in with that Makeup Geek shade just to redefine that fuchsia shade a little bit, because I feel like we lost a little bit of it after adding that purple and the lid shade, so I'm just redefining it a bit. Packing on the purple once more. And now I'm going in with the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. It's a highlight palette. I'm picking up that pink shade right there, and I'm using that to highlight the brow bone. It's just this beautiful iridescent pink that's going to help it pop even more. I'm also going to highlight the inner corners as well, and I tried to blow them out a little bit with that pink shade just to kind of like blend the edges out pretty well. And so I picked out that same lid shade that we used, put it on the Morphe M510 highlighting brush to highlight my cheeks with it, just to add this crazy glow to the skin. And I'm going to highlight my nose, my forehead, the temples of my forehead, and my hairline as well. I just wanted this look to be super blown out, almost like mystical, if you will. So I picked up that shade again from the Kat Von D palette with that same highlighting brush, and I went over everywhere that I just put that shimmer shade from the Huda Beauty palette. Now going in with a little bar of soap and a little spoolie brush that is wet. The spoolie brush is wet. I'm going to go in and fluff up my brows with this. What this is going to do is going to make them stick up wherever I put them. This is called soap brows. You can look it up. There are tutorials on how to do your brows more natural but make them look a little bit more fluffy. I just wanted them to almost look like a little more like creature-like, so I wanted them to be more fluffed out. And then I went in with this Jabba-esque eyeliner that I'm using, and I tightlined my eyes, which I hate doing, which is why I leaned back and rolled my eyes, but it was a deep purple shade that's really beautiful, so I lined my eyes with those on the waterline and tightlined them as well. And then I also went ahead and put on lashes off camera, and then I am just putting a little bit more of that highlight from the Alchemist palette. And then now is the fun part, the glitter. I got this glitter off of Amazon, and it's super beautiful, iridescent, like pink and a little bit of green. And so I grabbed my hydrocortisone and I'm just dabbing it into like an upside down triangle, almost like I'm crying glitter, like they're glitter tears. So I'm doing that, just dabbing it on my face, just so the glitter will stick. And now I'm packing on the glitter with that same flat shader brush from Tweezerman that I used for my lid shade. I'm doing the same thing with the other eye. I just sped it up a little bit, and I had music on in the background, which is why I'm dancing a little bit too. I kept singing to everything that was playing, so luckily that's why I kind of like zoomed in enough to where my mouth wasn't in the view of the camera. So just finishing up packing on the glitter, and then I'm going in with this Wet n Wild lipstick. It's just like this beautiful hot pink almost, and it's in the shade Will You Be With Me. And I'm topping it off with a little bit of the Kat Von D highlight. I just thought it was missing something. So there is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!